Hello ladies and gentlemen, hope you all doing good in this tough pandemic times. So last week I uploaded my first, or generally the first ever TSARL-HBG speedrun. Hold up, what? Yeah, exactly, a TASRL-HBG speedrun, which stands for Tool Assisted Reverse / Heavy Bogan. And yeah, the speedrun might be only 1 minute long, but you already know that there is hours invested behind the scenes. And today I will give you an insight on what's really going on in that specific run and how the legend himself TSC coded the script to make this as comfortable and consistent as possible so that I have a little bit easier time turning theory into practice on an actual living and moving monster and getting the run done. These following points will be mentioned in the video. What is reverse / heavy bogan and how does it work? How TSC coded the script and what the script looks like? Why I choose trash, excuse me, I mean Lunastra over any other monster, and a complete step-by-step breakdown on the speedrun. So sit back, relax, and we're starting with point 1. What is reverse / heavy bogan? Reverse / heavy bogan is a random discovery that I don't even know who found it first. I personally discovered it also myself by accident, because it actually happens by accident during hunts. And I'm sure a lot of HBG mains notice it too on their own when falling off ledges. Not every time, but if you're shooting while falling off a ledge, you may have noticed it. It was way too theoretical and inconsistent though to keep pulling it off back to back, and let alone doing an optimized speedrun. It was thought of completely impossible for the past 2 years, or obviously no one tried the effort to do it. Anyway, it's only TSC who does this type of runs. You can try this yourself, it totally works without any tools to a degree. So let's go to the training area. If you walk off the ledge and shoot at the right timings, you'll notice that the recoil puts you just enough back up on the ledge. And since midair your recoil level is not affected by any recoils, you don't need any recoil suppressors. So you can fill up with close range and have that extra damage that will compensate for the scope. So again, when you shoot, the recoil puts you just enough on the ledge, so you slide back down. This cancels out the recoil, meaning your gun is fire ready again. So on the surface level, that's really all about it. You're in a loop where you fall off the ledge and shoot at the right timing, putting you back up on the ledge, sliding back down, and repeat the whole process. Now, there is a massive difference depending on every single angle of every single ledge, which leads to complete inconsistency of timing. So to make it consistently work and not pull out your hair, I needed the help of a tool. And TSC lately just came back from the Monster Hunter community thanks to the Ice mod, I think so. Well, that's at least where I found him again. Obviously TSC was again talking as always about his ledge light bogan, which is just as cool and technical. And Sip mentioned the reverse / heavy bogan, I guess for fun. This got me interested though again, but I didn't have much hopes. So I asked TSC if the reverse / heavy bogan is even possible to pull off. He himself wasn't sure about it, but he had at least the ledge light bogan tool, which is very similar and was already a basic script for what this is. I 100% recommend to check out his runs. They're really amazing. They're out of this world. It's one of a kind. Like you'll never see stuff like this before in the future if it's not from him or from me, or hopefully someone tries to make stuff like that. It's really the true definition of speedrunning any percent, as every traditional speedrun, finding technical big brain exploits, mixing them with the technical skill stuff, and try to win as fast as possible within the borders of the game still, aka no cheating obviously. So we talked a little bit about it and he gave me what he has. I was totally amazed of that early state tool and how consistently it worked. This was a point where I said, I don't care how much you optimize it from this point on, I'm going to do this run. So from that day on, TSC was putting some serious hours in testing and optimizing the script to make it as comfortable for me doing the speedrun, and I'm really thankful for that. Here is a quick explanation on what the tool does to make this work. Basically, you need the script or the tool to know the player's current states, so it can time things, and this all requires reading game memory, getting the game process and stuff. A lot of technical stuff that I myself don't know how to do, obviously. This is what the main loop of the script looks like. First off, it reads the amount of ammo, which will be later helpful to know the reload when the reload set. I don't think you guys want every single line of the script explained, because like this, what you saw on screen is little, like not even like 1/10 of the whole script. So the loop starts by the first frame the player starts falling. Reading the state of falling, it starts counting milliseconds and times the first shot on a perfect timing to get in the most favorable position on a good ledge. This makes the loop very consistent and fail-proof, unless it's a bad ledge. It has a few other features, such as reading the ammo count, so when you're at 0, instead of falling, it holds back and reloads on top of the ledge, which counts as an aerial reload. Then it automatically rolls off again on the ledge, continuing the loop since you enter again the state of falling when you roll off of a ledge by jumping. Basically, it's just a bunch of functions, and the one leads into another, and at the end, like, it repeats itself. And as long as the ledge is fine, it's a very consistent script. So why Luna and not literally any other monster? Because it was the easiest thanks to one of the biggest discoveries in the game, which is the ground dunking, which also is discovered partly by TSC and Kuma Kumo, I think, not 100% sure about this, if there is another third person involved. TSC made a very detailed video, so I'm not gonna go in depth, but it's basically forcing Lunastra in a state where she leaves the area on a precise spot in the map, it doesn't work anywhere, where her flying away starts already initiating when she's still in the ground. So in game she's on a flying state while touching the ground. This allows a player to dunk her before she even takes off. More explanation for this during the breakdown, or check out TSC's explanation video. So for now, this monster was the best and probably the coolest option we had, but expect more insane runs coming in the future. We're definitely not done with this project, because TSC starts discovering really cool stuff. Oh yeah, also everyone hates Luna, so the viewers will get even more entertained by watching Luna getting completely destroyed. Am I right? I personally love Luna as a Chargeblade player, because Ice Chargeblade completely melts here, so I can't complain. It's my top 3 monsters in the game. Maybe top 5, but that's it. Okay, so now that we're done explaining all the basic information needed for this project, I'll start with a breakdown of the speedrun itself. Run starts by me getting drunk birded, which saves already about like 30 seconds travel time. First thing is what I do, equip the dunk pods and afterwards put the Gillimantle on. Now this mechanic is simple, but it's really not what it seems like. I go into the lava, so I take damage to get close to the skill heroics, which is a 40% damage boost, so it's massive. But also after hours, I found out that this is the most favorable spot and angle that I need for later on my run. Goal is now forcing Luna to transition into a different area, so she activates the flying move. It's actually really interesting, because a lot of you will think it's the effect of dunk pods that makes her live. Nope, totally not. That's not how it works, especially on airlers. You'll know dunk pods don't work. I think with Dunk Master they were kind of, not sure. But yeah, in this case it's not it. If you attack the monster, it will run towards you, since it kind of senses where you are but can't really see you thanks to the Gillimantle, so it won't attack you. And Dunk Pods don't deal weapon damage, so the Gillimantle stays on. Like the para ammo and sleep ammo don't wake up monsters, for example. So there is an in-game mechanic where if you're hidden and keep attacking the monster at some point will say, "Fuck this shit, I'm out of here," making him leave the area. And this works with any monster almost. I mean, as long as it can switch area. Obviously it doesn't work with Elatrium going to a different map. At 2 dunk pods left, I played the Parico Coral Horn to get the 50% attack buff, but I also delayed it a bit because I really need to take a little bit more damage to have heroics in time. Now I shoot 1 and have 1 left. This has to be done almost frame perfect, putting instantly your Rocksteady Mantle on and shooting the last dunk pod before Luna notices you, because you have way less than a second for it, since you took the Gillimantle off and you're basically almost about to be seen. If you look very closely, I turned my camera slightly to hit Luna sideways on your right side. This took me a couple of hours to also find out, but it will mostly force Luna to also turn her head slightly to the right, where the dunk pot hit here. This is mandatory because I have to clutch on the left side of the head, else this run wouldn't work due to unfavorable positions of the spot. This also forces the player slightly to the left side when she's physically coming down from the roller and pushes you there. Like without this trick it worked maybe like 1 out of 20 times, but with this it worked 8 out of 10 times. When I shoot the dunk pot there, she comes down and pushes me to the left, because you see from the position, if I didn't get pushed to the left I will be clutching on the right side. Meanwhile, I placed 2 bombs down with Bombardier 5 to get your head threshold all the way down to 350. Which will be important later on. Now you have a second of time before the roar ends and she transitions to a different area. But I clutch onto here, delay a few frames on every turn to get more damage, so I have heroics in time and also in rage here. So before she leaves, I want her to be agitated, which is a 20% damage modifier on Lunastra, but also would have agitator active if I used in the build, which I didn't need here. I can't do the tenderize attack yet because it would hit during that rage animation, and since it's not the flying animation yet, it will just flinch the monster, not a dunk. So you see a delay by the timing, so my tenderizing attack hits exactly on the second when the map turns white and Luna initiated her leaving attack or flying animation. From now on, Luna is always in a flying state, and my tenderizing attack resets the head threshold, which causes a flinch. And flinching a flying monster is dunking it, as most of you know, which is the longest you see in the game. On Luna it literally lasts for a good 15 seconds with all the standing up and falling animations. 2 hours of my HP missing to get into heroics. I'm rolling towards here. She's decently placed on the spot I wanted. This was not very consistent, but it's not too far, not too close on this run. I walk off the ledge where the tool kicks in now. From now on, my controller is on autopilot with the shots. All I do is turn my camera, aim a bit, switching ammo to spread to. If I think the reload was going to come on an unfavorable position or timing, since spare shot is making it way more inconsistent than RNG, but it saves 30 seconds thanks to a saved reload, which you will need at the end. For example, if you reload while she's flying away, it will obviously be a dead run, or if you shoot too late and or too early and reset the threshold while she's taking off, the head will be still like full threshold and you won't get in time 2 shots to dunk her again. This is where the real grind of this run started. Getting the flinch threshold exactly on the frame after her standing up animation has ended, so I can dunk her in spot again, because if she moves, the run is dead. Also, dunking monsters move them a little bit backwards on every single dunk. This is unavoidable, but since I was sideways it didn't really bother me that much. I had only 3 completions without her leaving the area out of hundreds of attempts around. Another massive issue were her wings. They're blocking part of the head on the angle I am, so it was incredibly hard to get every single pellet on the head on this run. But on this run I missed like less than 2 shots, like mixed maybe 10 pellets, too late to count, sorry. And I can't really change my angle without a mess up, because if you notice, when I'm slightly aiming to the right and not straight, my recoil will slowly push the player more to the left, which gets me off the ledge, since you're not in a straight position anymore. This wasn't really avoidable, but I reduced it as much as possible. You can see here, it finally turned me enough so I can't walk off the ledge anymore, and it cancelled the loop, because the recoil was, you have to imagine like towards the ledge and not backwards of the ledge, so I can walk back off. So this wastes another 3 seconds because I have to reposition in front of here and try getting all the shots in and praying for spare shot to finish here on the 3rd dunk, because after that you can't dunk here anymore. If you break the head during the dunk, the next time she flies she will get flinched and it will cause a clagger instead of another dunk, which kills the run. So yeah, that was really all about it. I'm really excited to try things like this out on Rise PC, which is coming soon, and we already found some cool stuff already on Switch. I hope you guys enjoyed this video or any video that I make. because for me priority is to entertain the viewer and teach them new things, of course if they wish to. But if you do so, I will appreciate it very much if you share the videos with your friends, like and comment, of course, subscribe so you don't miss any of my future content. This really helps me a lot to grow, and this is what I want to keep doing. Thanks for watching, and see you next time, guys. Have a good one.